Happy 4th of July weekend, Spartans. Just thought I'd throw a quick video together to end up last week's PD that basically outlines how to do the things I put together in the PD for you. So what I'd like to do is go through assignment by assignment and show you how I created them. So basically, let's start by talking about how to add a folder. For the most part, you're going to be working from this Add Materials button quite a bit. So pretty much anything you want to add, that's where you're going to start. So you click Add Materials, and to add a folder, you click Add Folder. You give it a title, something meaningful for the kids, something meaningful to you. You'll notice later, once we get into next week, I start to number folders. That way, as more and more folders appear, you as teachers and your students for next year will know how to progress through each of the folders. You can change the folder color. You can make the text bold. You can use italics. There's all kinds of features here. You can make a bulleted list. You can insert different characters. So those of you who might be needing superscripts or subscripts, math teachers perhaps, you can do that. You can also insert content here, which is a nice little feature. So I can put an image in here if I want. That's how I put the medals in. You can put a link if you need to link it to, if you need the kids to go read something. I did that in one of the assignments. You can also find other symbols in here. These over here are nice little features. Those are apps. We'll get into those a little bit later, but you can also use that to insert in the description of your folder. You can make it available on a date, so if I don't want it published until July 23rd, I can do that. I can also make the folder end at a certain date. I can do published or unpublished. I can also do published on a start date. So if I know for sure that I'm going to be starting something, let's say in October, and I have that folder all ready to go, I can go ahead and click publish, and that will automatically open for me. I can also set up a date range. So if I only want it open from October 16th through October 23rd, I can do that as well. I'm not going to create one for now because I don't need another folder in there. I'm going to go ahead and click cancel, but that's basically how you would go about creating a folder. Okay. Next, once I create a folder, I suggest, and I do suggest, that you create folders first, and then within those folders you create the assignments. So open up the folder and put the assignment in that folder, sort of like what you would do in Google Drive, because if you have things floating around everywhere and you don't organize them from the get-go, that can become confusing, not only for the students but also for you. So the very first assignment was a discussion. I'm going to go ahead and open up the folder that I had for your discussion. To add a discussion, you notice again, I'm opening the folder first, and then I'm going to go ahead and put my assignment in. You click Add Materials, and you slide down to Add Discussion. Okay, you can go ahead and give it a title, and then this spot right here is where you'll give the students the instructions and actually post the question that you would like them to consider. I can insert content here. Again, we talked about that before with the actual folder. I can put images or medias in here, links. I can do something from the Google Drive resource app. These are nice little features down here because I can insert a file maybe that I have on my desktop. I can put a link in here as well. I can assign a resource that maybe I have something somewhere in my Schoology resources. I can also put an audio or video recording here. So for those of you who might need additional sort of learning style sorts of scenarios, you can actually upload a video right here, or you can just record your voice reading the instructions. So I'm thinking for some of our SPED populations, this might be pretty helpful. And for those of you who know your kiddos just prefer audio instructions, that would be helpful as well. External tools might be other things that you could include. Down here, I can put a due date in for that discussion. I can enable grading if I want, and that will bring up things like how many points do you want it worth. You can also assign it to the LSH grading scale. Before I show you how that works, though, I can align it to learning objectives. This is where I can pull up all of my standards. Okay, so if you want to align it there. I can individually assign things, so that will be nice for differentiation. When I click that, I can type in an actual student's name, or I can type in a course member. So like I know for sure that Valdosta is one of my folks, so I can assign it to Valdosta. I can assign it to Lynn. I can assign it to Fran if I wanted to. Okay. So I can pull up whoever. Actually, I can't assign it to Fran because she's the teacher, one of the teachers in this course, but I can assign it to as many students as I want, or I can assign it to groups. Okay, so if I only wanted my Tech Mayhem group to do this, I could assign it to Tech Mayhem, and I'll show you how to create those grading groups later on. So for right now, I'm not going to individually assign it. I can also publish it or unpublish it to students. And then this is a super nice feature as well. If I click this, this means that kids have to type in their own response before they can see the response of someone else. So if you're worried about kids saying, oh, well, I'll just read all these other folks' responses and then I'll just repeat exactly what they said, this is a nice little feature because I can click on that and that basically makes them write a response before they can see everyone else's. And it may depend on what you want, what the purpose of your activity is. For you guys, I'm letting you see each other's responses because I think it's doing you a favor because it's enabling you to collaborate. And it may even depend on the type of question you have. So you may want to think that through. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cancel that. So that's how you go about creating a discussion. So in this week's units, you had 2 discussions to do. I'm going to go back. The second assignment that you worked on was a syllabus. And basically what Schoology allows you to do is use something up here from the App Center. If I click on App Center here, I can add more functionality by adding this Google Drive resource app. So you click on that and I can click install resource app. I'm not going to do that because I already have it, but if you install that resource app, that's going to save a ton of time for you. So let me go back and show you how that works. So navigating back to that assignment, which was the syllabus assignment, basically what it does is it creates a document for every single student in your class. So when you opened it up, you clicked on this and you started creating your assignment. It also linked it to my Google Drive so that I can see what you're working on. So if I click on in progress, here's a list of all my students. And these are the folks who are still currently working on their syllabus. So if I scroll down, I can see Lucas. I can take a look at his syllabus. And right now he hasn't started a whole lot, and that's okay. This was just a draft assignment. But I can also click on submissions to see who's turned things in. And these are all the folks who've turned their syllabus in. So if I click on Elizabeth, I can see her syllabus here. I can even scroll down within Schoology and see exactly what she's done, or I can open it up in Google Drive and work completely separate from Schoology and just take a look at her syllabus here. Okay, so this is an awesome feature because this enables me to highlight on her actual text here, and if I wanted to, I can insert a comment, give her some feedback on her syllabus. So that's what makes it super nice. Okay, I click back on my Schoology link and it's also right here and it won't go away. So it saves all of that work. You don't have to go digging around to try and find things in Google Drive. So that's a really, really, really nice feature that Schoology offers as far as being able to link to Google Drive. Okay. All right. So quick wrap up. I'm trying to keep this short, trying to keep my framework into 6 to 9 minutes because that's good practice, guys. 6 to 9 minutes on the videos. We talked about how to create a discussion and we talked about how to create a folder. We also talked about how to use that Google Drive app. If you need extra help in setting some of those things up, please shoot me an email. We could even do maybe a little Google Meet and I can walk you through if you have something specific in mind. Keep up the great work. I love the collaboration. You guys are doing awesome.